If we now look at this triangle, compared to this angle, we have the hypotenuse. This side is the adjacent, leaving this side as the opposite. If we write down our mnemonic, so, car, toa, and then look back at the triangle, we can see that we know the adjacent and we're trying to find the hypotenuse. A and H leads us to car. The cosine of 30 degrees is going to be equal to the adjacent, which is 4, divided by the hypotenuse, which is what we're trying to find. Note here we can't just simply multiply both sides by x to find the answer. In the previous examples, it's always just been the number that we know times the sine, cosine, or tangent of the angle. But this doesn't rearrange in the same way. Let's do the rearrangement to find x in terms of the other things. Multiplying both sides by x gives us x times the cosine of 30 is equal to 4. But we want the x on its own, so now let's divide both sides by cos 30, and we get x is equal to 4 divided by the cosine of 30. If we compare this line with this one, we can see that the cos 30 and the x have simply swapped places. Once you appreciate why this is the case, you can use this fact to speed up your calculations. So we need to calculate 4 divided by cos 30. This gives us 4.618 and so on, which is 4.62, correct to 3 significant figures. Note here that this is the length of the hypotenuse, and it's longer than the adjacent. We know the hypotenuse is the longest side, so this makes sense. Had we got an answer that was less than 4, we would know that we'd done something wrong. If we use the triangle method for this, and this is why so many pupils like this method, because you don't have to do any rearrangement. For car, we have cosine of the angle, adjacent, hypotenuse. In this particular case, we were trying to find the hypotenuse, so we cover that up, and we're left with the adjacent divided by the cosine of the angle. We can see this gives us the same calculation, and therefore this will give us the same answer.